In this episode, we'll be talking about sound. Hi everyone and welcome back. My name is Simon and this is episode number 11 of How to Become a Film Director. Yes, in this episode we'll be talking about sound, and I've said it many times, sound is a very crucial, very important element of any movies because it represents 50% of your film. So definitely not something to be overlooked at. In fact, it's the element where most short films fail to be accepted in film festivals. So we'll take a look at that very closely. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to split the subject in 3 different categories. First, there will be the what to use. So which gear should you use? And of course, we'll talk about what should you not use. Point number 2 will be the how to do it, so how to record the best sound possible on location. And number 3 will be the what to do with it, so how to use that footage, that sound recorded on location, how to use it in post-production to get the best out of it. So let's start with number 1, which is what to use. So the best case scenario would be to hire a sound man, of course. Every sound man have their own equipment, so that would be the simplest way to do. You place an ad on Kijiji, Craigslist if you don't know anybody, and you will have answers for sure. You would have feedback, and if you're making a short film, 3, 4, 5 days of shooting, you will probably be able to have them for free. Otherwise, you will probably have to pay a little amount just for the respect to the fact that they're bringing their own equipment, because every sound man have their own equipment. So you might have to pay a little bit, but I've often I've been able to have soundmen for free. Of course, you have to make something. They have to be interested in your project, and why they will do it for free? Well, for the same reason you're making films for free, for them to build their own resume, and if ever they're proud of what you're doing, well, they're going to use that maybe in their portfolio, in their demo reel or whatever, so, and to gain experience like we do. Option number 2 would be to record the sound yourself with about the same equipment. If you don't have it, you can rent it or you can buy it or whatever. And what is the equipment used by a soundman? Well, it's a shotgun mic at the end of a boom pole. Okay, this is my boom pole here. Okay, this is an 11 feet boom pole. Well, I'm not going to show it to you, but it's a good one here. I use that. And shotgun mic, boom pole, a recording device. Okay, you don't need to have the big kit with all the nods and everything. Only a small recording device like a Zoom H6 or the previous models like H5 IV and so on. That records very good sound. Also, a thing which is very I really like is a lavalier microphone, which is actually what I'm using to record this here. I have this little microphone here, and this is the my microphone is plugged to this transmitter here, which is going to the receiver on my camera here, and there's a way to set your camera to record a good sound, a clean sound, without recording the internal sound of the camera, because the inside of a camera makes a lot of noise. So there's a way to set your camera. In a few words, you drop down the sound settings plus 1 notch. And if you want to have more details about that, Ray Ortega, I'm going to put the link down below. He has a really nice tutorial which explains very well how to do it. So that's how I'm recording my sound right now. And best case scenario is you have a lavalier microphone to every talent which speaks in the scene, but you can also get away with only one by shooting one actor with the lavalier, then you go on the other one, you switch the lavalier to him or her, and so on and so forth. So there's a way to do it that way also, especially if you have a boom mic also. Now, what you don't want to do, absolutely never want to do, is record sound from inside your camera, regardless of the camera you're using. You don't want to use that sound. Use it as a reference if you want to sync the good sound that you will record, but never keep that sound on your final product. So a cheap way that might surprise you, which is much better than using the sound of a camera, is to use sound from this, a smartphone. There's a recording device in that, which is not bad at all. If you have the microphone pointing straight to the mouth of the actor, could be in the pocket here, could be off frame, just very, very close here, it will record the sound. Of course, it will not be on par with the lavalier that I'm wearing right now, but it's not that bad and it's usable. But if you shoot your movie with a smartphone like that here, what you don't want to do is you don't want to take that sound. This is just to take the image, and you need to have another smartphone nearby to record the sound, and if possible, one for each, like I said, each talent. Now, how to do it? Well, the way to do it, the best way to do it is to have separate sounds for every talent that are in the scene. Of course, you will have your boom pole that will take the sound, your shotgun mic, which will be your track number one, the main source of sound for the entire scene. And what you will do with that here, if ever you take a friend of yours which is not used to work with that, what is very important with that is that a shotgun mic is very, very sensible. It multiplies about by 10 from what you hear with your own ears. So what you never want to do with that is you never want to bump it on anything. You never want to lean it towards something, towards your a lot of people I see, what they do is they put it on their belt like that, and when they move like that, all the sound coming from their belly or the buckle of their belt, well, it is all registered, taken by the microphone at the other end. And sometimes also what they do is they lean it towards the desk. And if you do that and the talent happens to do this, forget it, your sound is messed up because of that. So there's only one good way to do it, is to hold it with your two hands. That's the only way. Sometimes people do that here. Well, okay, but I prefer like that or above their head. Another thing you don't want to forget is to take a room tone. What is a room tone? A room tone is an ambiance of every location you will go and shoot a scene in. And what you want to do is you want to shoot 1 minute of that sound. That will save you. That will be your safety net. That will be your equalizer when you will go from one take to the other one. When you're going to make the editing of your scene, you will notice that the background noise might change from one take to the other one, and your room tone will be your equalizer to put everything like if it's shot in one take. Also, one thing you want to do is you want to shut down everything that makes sounds before shooting. You want to shut down all computers. You want to shut down the furnace. You want to shut down the refrigerator. You want to shut down everything if possible. Now, sometimes you can't. I've had a situation where I had to shoot in a convenience store, and all the fridges were making a lot of noise. Well, you can't turn down refrigerators in a convenience store, otherwise the ice cream and everything will melt. So, and the beer will run hot. So, because you're going to be there for 4, 5, 6 hours, so you cannot do that, unfortunately. So when that becomes very important to have a room tone. So that brings me to what to do with it in post-production. So what you want to do with that, if you've recorded sound separately for every talent, you have their own track with their own lavalier mic. You have your main source of sound by the shotgun mic. You want to put that all on your timeline, and when one of the sound will not be good enough, you can lower it or cut it, shut it down completely, and you will the more track of sound you will have, the better you will get away with it. Also, a very good thing that I can tell you, if ever you have to do sound in post-production afterwards, go inside a car. It's the best sound studio that anybody can have. Inside a car, it's the best place to take the sound. So if you have to do some voiceover, stuff like that, try to do that inside a car. You will have a very, very clean sound. So that's a tip that I like to do when I have to do some voiceover. Now, you're in the editing room, you're putting everything together, you have your different tracks, you can play with the volume because you have everything separate. What you want to do also, you want to blend them. When you go from one shot on one character to the other one, don't make a firm cut in your sound. You can do that on the image, but not in the sound. What you will do is, unless you have exactly the same background noise, you can do that. But even then, what I would do always is you blend them. Sometimes a second will do, but if there's a big difference in those two background noise, what you do is you go the furthest you can till that one stops to speak and this one starts to speak. You blend them the furthest away. Then you come and you put your room tone underneath that, and you will not see when you go from one take to the other one. The sound will go like that, and your room tone will be your equalizer. So that's the way to do it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I'm going to leave you with samples of scenes that I shot with different ways, and try to find out how I shot them, and I will give you the answer by the end of the video.
Tell me you didn't do it.
Come on, don't tell me you've never done that.
Stop your bullshit.
Just starting to have fun.
Committing crimes, you call that having fun?
We need to do something about it.
What is your name again?
Charles.
Charles, I think you're missing on something very important here.
Fais attention, là, c'est pas de compenser en achetant tout ce qu'elle veut, parce que là, je te le dis, t'es perdant dès le départ. Ces femmes-là, là, c'est comme des abeilles. So how was everything up front?
That was fine.
Did you have time to admire the view?
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.